Thank you, Dan. Thank you, everyone, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pleasure to be here. I want to just take a few minutes. I am Dr. Marc Allan Feldman, coming from Cleveland, Ohio.
Speaking of my,
I have to move it down a little bit. I'm used to that. Can people hear me in the back? Oh, thank you. I want to just take a few minutes to tell you a little bit about myself, how I got involved with the Libertarian Party, some perspectives, and a little bit about the coming election in 2016. I was never a Democrat or Republican. I was born in Washington, D.C. at Sibley Hospital. Went to school and grew up in Washington, D.C. And it wasn't that I wasn't interested in politics. I knew politics. I knew some politicians personally, but there was never anyone I wanted to support. I grew up with the Vietnam War, with Watergate was our local news for years. Read my lips, no new taxes. I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Monica Lewinsky. I thought politician was another word for liar. Wasn't interested in political science. I was a philosophy major undergrad at Northwestern University outside Chicago, and in preparation to go to medical school. I graduated from the medical school at Johns Hopkins in Baltimore, Maryland. I stayed on staff at Johns Hopkins. I specialized in anesthesiology. And then in 1998, I was recruited to head up the anesthesia for the Cole Eye Institute at the Cleveland Clinic in Cleveland, Ohio. I remember on our second visit there, we're touring the neighborhoods, and my wife said, "What are all the long sticks on the sides of the driveways? What does that represent?" So that's so that you could find them when the snow, which we did not get a nice dusting yesterday. But it was around 2009, 2010 that I first was reading more about the Libertarian Party. Senator Voinovich from Ohio was announced his retirement, and he was a real budget hawk, and one of the few people who I thought made sense when he was talking about the deficit and the debt. And it looked like the Libertarian Party was really the only one that I was hearing anything that really made sense from. I looked on the website, though, and I saw that they really didn't have a full slate of candidates. And I was talking to a friend of mine in the Libertarian Party. I said, 2010 could be the year. People are getting sick of the Democrats and Republicans. You really have a duty to have a full slate of state candidates. A couple of weeks later, I got a call in my office. They said, "Dr. Feldman, we actually do have a full slate of candidates. It's not updated on the website yet, except for Attorney General. We need a candidate for Attorney General. Would you be willing to run for Attorney General?" I said, "I'm a physician, not an attorney." They said, "That's okay. We checked the Constitution. With everything going on in healthcare and healthcare law now, we think having a physician to run herd of the lawyers would be a great idea." So I said, "I really don't have time or money for this." They said, "We'll take care of it." Turns out that the Libertarian Party of Ohio had won some court cases and had a shortened window to get candidates on. So I think they figured since I was a physician at the clinic, I was at least pre-vetted, so I probably wouldn't be an embarrassment. But I did run, and I received over 100,000 votes with minimal campaigning and minimal money. Thank you, Dan. And since then, I've been the treasurer for Kevin's Secretary of State campaign, and it is very interesting. It really seems that we do as well with higher campaign budgets and lower campaign budgets. And I think when we look at it, it really is not about the money. So when we're looking at presidential candidates, I looked at it like a lot of entrepreneurs. I just wanted to have a candidate that I felt I could support 100%, someone who really represented my views on things. And I think if you want to have the right to complain about something, you have to be willing to throw your hat in. So I looked at it, and I looked at basically focusing my campaign on getting money out of politics. So that's why my campaign is not titled Marc Allan Feldman for President. It's Votes Not for Sale. Actually, I'm going to take a moment to put the website up. So this is my Facebook page. Um, I've got, this is the logo I had designed. That's fairly new. I did a design contest. I used to have my face there. When I had my face there, I only had 1,800 likes. When I put the logo on, took my face off, put the logo on, it went up to 4,000. I like to think it's because it's a really good logo. But the internet now offers opportunities to get in touch with people. It doesn't take $1 billion to send a message. I think that this is what we're looking at. In 2008, excuse me, yeah, 2012, I'm sorry, 2012, 66 million people voted for Mr. Obama. 61 million voted for Romney. 1 million voted for Gary Johnson. And these are not really the constituencies I'm looking for. I'm looking to reach out to the 100 million people eligible to vote who did not vote. So these are people who, they're not concerned about the lesser of two evils. They don't want to vote for anyone that they don't believe in. And I'm looking at those 100 million people and learning a lot about them and interested in them. We've had other election years where 80% of people voted, eligible voters. So we've got twice as many people not voting as ever before, as before. So this really provides an opportunity. You know, I look differently on the Libertarian Party. I am very, very optimistic, and a lot of it is because of you. Some people view the Libertarian Party almost like an army, like we're going to battle, and that they want our leaders to be commanders who will send out dedicated troops to fight battles on multiple fronts. And they get very disappointed when they feel like we're losing battle after battle. I look at it very differently. I don't think we're a military organization. I look at us more as a family. And really, politics isn't what we are, it's something we do. Politics is our family business. And our family business has been going on since 1971, and we're still going strong. You know, we're not a chain. We're not offering fast politics. We're a family-owned business. And and I think it's amazing how it's sometimes a dysfunctional family. Sometimes people hate each other. One point I've made is that you know, if you look at the personalities involved, that for a bunch of middle-aged white guys, there's an awful lot of diversity among the organization. But diversity is one of the things that we need to look at. This is when we look at the 100 million people who haven't voted. These are people who don't trust the government, but they tend to be minority. They're heavily Latino. They're lower lower educated. They're lower income. But I think that we can reach out to them. So when I'm looking at 2016, putting it together, I look at it this way. We have 100 million people who don't usually vote. We have 1,000 libertarian activists who don't usually win. And we have one presidential candidate who's not usually a politician. And together, we can make 2016 a very unusual year. Thank you very much.
We'll take some questions from the audience. We have microphones in the middle if you don't have a good voice to project, so please use the microphone or speak loudly.
And I'll be repeating the question so it gets onto the YouTube. If anybody doesn't want to be, you can let me know and I'll edit you out.
Anyone?
Well, while people are thinking about getting up the courage to ask some questions, I'll just go through a couple of things on the website. You know, this just went up in really mid-January, early February. And what we've got is, I'll state the microphone. Just under the logo, you can see there's, as of this morning, there's 4,432 likes. 562 are new this week. Now, when someone clicks like on the website, that connects the website to them. So I have access to their Facebook account to send the messages. Whenever I put anything up, it comes up on their newsfeed. And if people don't like that, they can then unlike the page. The number of unlikes has been very, very low. So I'm attracting people to the website. They're hearing the message, and they're staying with me so far. The reach tells of how many people actually are having these posts come up on their news feeds. And so we're seeing both from people who have liked the site as well as their friends see it on their news feeds. So we're seeing 424,000 people actually having these posts come up on their news feeds. And that's been going up dramatically. And I'm going to take just a moment to refresh.
Oh, can you let people know how your structure for your campaign will go nationally?
Sure. Well, people ask about what makes me different from other politicians, and you know, when I say votes not for sale, I'm drawing a stark contrast from the other parties. I'm not accepting any corporate funds. I'm not accepting any PAC funds. Anyone can donate, but I have a maximum individual donation of $5, and that's cumulative. So I don't take more than $5. If anyone wants to donate $5 to my campaign, they're welcome, and they'll be my largest donor. When I talk to groups of Latinos and other people, they say, well, what's different? Everybody tells us they want our vote. Everyone says they're going to speak for us. What makes you different? How do we know that you're not going to just go in the pocket of the special interest like anybody else? I said, has anybody else told you they will not accept more than $5? It makes an impression. Now the organization will change as time goes on. You know, the big step is going to be in Orlando, where I will decide which of the Libertarian candidates I'm going to support for president, depending on who wins the nomination. But I will be setting up a grassroots organization with a top level mirroring the regional organization of the LNC, with state chairs, county chairs, down to the precinct zip code level. And when it comes down to starting to get petitions, even down to the +4 level, I have a technology infrastructure. I'm using Nation Builder. I wanted to get a consultant that could help me set up the Nation Builder voter relationship management system. It costs a little money, but I'm a physician. I can spend some. And the problem is there's two kinds of political consultants, liberal Democrats and conservative Republicans. And looking for political consultants who are interested in getting money out of politics, understandably, are few and far between. So I was speaking to the people at the headquarters of Nation Builder, and they said, well, Dr. Feldman, you seem technologically inclined. Why don't you do our Nation Builder training program? So I actually went through the Nation Builder voter relationship management, and I'm now a certified Nation Builder expert, as is so far my recent intern. But this technology is the same thing, that it's more robust than what Obama used to help him win the presidency. But while he spent a couple $1 million on it, now it starts at $20 a month. So it's pretty impressive. Let me just refresh the screen here while people come up.
You have a question, right, John? Yeah.
You mentioned appealing to people that don't normally vote. What kinds of things do you think will get people interested enough to get off the couch and come out to vote when they don't normally vote for either the major parties?
Well, as I said, until I was 50 years old, I was a non-voter. So I think there's a lot of theories and myths about how non-voters feel. As I said, I think that it's not an issue of not having the energy or the interest. I think it's really not having a person that represents you. Interesting statistic, I think it's a bit of an exaggeration, but Puerto Ricans who were born in Puerto Rico, when they're in Puerto Rico, they vote 90% of the time. Very high voter turnout in Puerto Rico. When these same people move to the United States, they're already citizens, so they're not immigrating, they're just moving to the United States. They vote 9% of the time. So they didn't suddenly not become interested in politics. They didn't suddenly just not have energy to go to the polls. They do not feel represented. And then now a lot of us feel that way. We feel our government has been taken over. It's being run by lobbyists, lawyers, and liars. And we have a representative government that just doesn't represent us. So the first thing to do is to talk to these people. You know, we don't know about these people. You look at any poll, look at almost any poll, and when you look at how the poll is designed, they'll say, we contacted so many thousand likely voters. They always go to the likely voters because that's who the politicians want to hear. They don't want to, they're not interested in the people who haven't been voting. So we don't even know. You look at the polling data to try to see what people are interested in, you won't see the unlikely voters. And people don't, you have to talk to them. One of the things I was very surprised at, Pew actually did one study of the non-voter party. When you're looking at Latinos are about, they're 18% of the United States population, but they're over 30% of the non-voters. So I was looking at Hispanics in particular. You know, I could ask what you think the #1 issue for Latinos is, and a lot of people would think it's immigration, because that's what you hear about. Immigration's #4, #5. What they're mainly interested in, #1 above all else, is education. Because that's what's going to get their next generation to succeed. One of the comments I made was that the #1 issue for Latinos is education. The #1 issue for Democrats and Republicans for Latinos is immigration. That's because education changes lives and immigration changes elections. So these are the kind of messages that I think have a possibility of getting these people to join us, to form a coalition. I'm not interested in a cult. You know, we could go over any of my particular stands on things. That there's going to be some things we agree on, some things we don't agree on. I think we all agree on individual power, that we want to offer freedom to people, and I think the freedom to think for yourself is very important. So I would prefer if people didn't agree with me on everything. Question?
So I apologize if you covered this already, but as far as your message is, votes not for sale, limited campaign contributions, did you want to enforce that by law for all candidates, or are you just trying to lead by example?
That's a very good point. What I've said is that I think we need to get money out of politics the same way we got racism out of politics. It used to be you could win by being a racist, or at least now getting more subtle about it. But now you don't. And it's not because we made racism illegal. It's because we stopped voting for it. I think we should do the same thing with money. Get money out of politics by stop voting for it. I'm doing my part. I'm going to be the candidate. Now I'm going to ask the public, if you agree with me, you have to do your part. And don't vote for a candidate who's raising $2 billion from special interests. Okay.
Dr. Feldman,
Thank you again.
thank you so much. Dr.